What branch of service were you in?
U.S. Army.
What were your dates of service?
My dates was 1968 to 1970.
Were you drafted or enlisted?
I volunteered for the draft.
How old were you?
I was 21.
Do you recall your first days in service?
Yeah, my first days was everybody had to look the same, so they cut everybody's hair short. So everybody looked the same.
What type of work did you perform while in the service?
Well, when I was in the service, when I got to Vietnam, I was in a truck unit. We hauled portable bridge to different places where they bombed the bridge, and then we would haul bridge, and then we'd haul rock and white rock and that kind of thing. And then later I was in an infantry 101st Airborne, where there was a repelling group, and we repelled into landing zones, and then we cut trees before helicopters could come in and land.
What did you think you were fighting for?
Well, I think it was fighting for helping the South Vietnamese army to keep communism out.
What do you think people today should know about what you went through?
Well, first of all, let's see, remember, freedom's not free, so it takes men and women to help protect our country, and that's the job they do.
Did you feel prepared?
I think so.
Were you awarded any medals or citations?
Well, in basic training, I got the M14th medal and the M16, and then in Vietnam, I got the Bronze Star.
How did you get them?
Probably for bravery.
What was the highest rank you achieved?
Spec 4.
And how did you get promoted?
Well, I think the sergeant or somebody must put your name in, I'm guessing.
What was the food like?
Well, the food in Vietnam was all sea rations. It comes in cans, and you had a little opener, I guess you open it with, and then we had peaches and crackers and different things like that. And then one thing I thought was interesting, they always came with about 5 cigarettes in a little package. And so I always traded them with somebody else for peaches or cookies or something like that, something that I liked.
How did you stay in touch with your family?
By writing letters. I think I looked at home, I think I must have wrote about 70 letters.
Was there something special you did for good luck?
I probably prayed that God would keep me safe and to get back home again eventually.
What did you do on leave?
Well, on leave, I never got a leave other than just between basic training and going to Vietnam. And then in August of 1970, August of 69, I was wounded. So then I was preparing to go on leave, but I got wounded instead, I guess, and I went home. They sent me home.
Do you recall the day your service ended?
Yeah, I got out of the Army in May 11th of 1970, in Fort Riley, Kansas.
What did you do in the days and weeks afterwards?
I came back home to the farm, helped my brothers and my dad farm, and that kind of thing. And then later that year, I was schooled for working on cars and trucks and stuff. So my twin brother and I, we built a shop, and we was in business for about 47 years.
What did you go on to do as a career after the war?
I was a mechanic for a long time, and then I farmed some. Started farming in 1972, and just retired this last fall, so I farmed quite a few years.
Did your military experience influence your thinking about war or after the military in general?
Well, it just influenced me back to the freedom's not free, and we need our military to do their job.
If you hadn't have been drafted, do you think you would have volunteered?
Probably not.
Why?
Well, I probably figured if I didn't have to go, I wouldn't go, so. Because my twin brother was drafted, so. We drove these 5-ton trucks. That might have been my truck right there, and then this is our barracks where we stayed.
Okay. What were they like? They look kind of like huts?
They
Are
kinda-
those Nissan huts that I've heard about, or not?
Well, I think there was more kind of metal on the side, and
Okay.
then they had, our bed was all screened in because the mosquitoes were real bad, so. There's a picture of that somewhere.
Did you ever have to worry about things like malaria or anything like that?
Well, they give you shots and stuff.
Okay.
Then they made you take a lot of salt pills. There's what the barracks looks like right
sure.
there.
Was it hot in Vietnam?
Yeah, it was hot. Yeah,
Let's go on. My Chromebooks on that.
you could sweat real easy. I already said, but they give you a lot of salt pills.
Uh-huh.
This is downtown Saigon right there.
Motorcycles, is that what I'm seeing there?
Motorcycles and bikes and all kinds of stuff.
What was the traffic like when you were driving?
It was pretty busy. It was
Did you drive the big trucks, the 5-ton
big
trucks?
5-ton trucks. Yeah, we hauled a bridge and rock down south of Saigon.
And you have to drive through all that traffic?
Yep. I can't remember. It was about 3 or 4 miles, I think, through town.
Oh, okay.
Better down
Okay.
There's the bus in Saigon. And there's what our barracks look like.
Oh, on the inside.
We even had a TV, I think. So,
Did you get more than 3 channels?
no, I think probably 1 or 2. And there's our bed. It's got screen on top, and then you can, once you got in bed, you pulled the screen down over the side of you.
And how many people would you say would be in your barracks who stayed in your barracks?
There was probably 15 or so.
Okay.
It's a pretty good sized building. And then the sergeant, yeah, he stayed in one of the rooms too.
Okay.
But that's just a bunch of trucks there.
What would you say is the most unusual thing you remember seeing while you were there?
That was a church in Saigon, or by Saigon.
Uh-huh.
This is when I trained trained to repel out of helicopters. We had this big tower, so we.
And that's you in the picture?
I
Or
don't-
did you
I
take
don't-
the picture?
I took the picture, I believe.
Oh, okay,
But I've done that several times.
okay.
Just practicing up and get ready to do the real thing.
Well, you know, now people pay, like at amusement parks and stuff, they pay to do that.
That's some guys coming out of the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
You're about 100 feet in the air, thereabouts.
Did you ever have to do that on a mission?
Yeah, that's what we did. We went in and we cut landing zones for
Okay.
helicopters to land.
Uh-huh. So in addition to driving the trucks, you also
that
did
was-
this?
I drove the trucks first, and then I got retrained for infantry, and then I went into that unit.
Okay,
We kind of worked at fire bases and stuff. We put a lot of that wire around the perimeter of the fire base, and that kind of stuff.
Well, that's the comms phone. I got tired of having to pick it up. So it's just
that's quite a bunker.
Yep. Yep. If you got bombed or something, well, that'd
Yeah.
have been good.
That's one way to do it, yeah.
that's how everything.
That was my truck there, but
Which one's those?
That's a C.
Kind of a little bit of a glare, I'm gonna come around your shoulder here.
Is that the, like, you go around those first? Is that-
yeah, it was interesting doing that.
Uh-huh.
It's one of those experiences that once you done it, you kind of glad you done it.
Right,
Yep, I carried radio for our troop,
okay,
so because I was when these landing zones, why they would either bomb someone, have to cut the trees down in the morning, and we'd repel into there, and then we had chainsaws and that kind of stuff, and we cut a big enough area for a helicopter could land.
okay.
That's where when you're out in the field, that's where you slept at night,
Did you sleep on that or under it?
underneath. Probably slept right on the ground.
Yeah. Did you have to worry about snakes or
No, I didn't.
bugs or
No.
anything like that?
I didn't
sleeping
worry
with
about
them?
that, no.
Okay. Now look at those helicopters.
Yeah. Some bombing was going on in our area. There's one of the jets,
Uh-huh,
bombers.
okay.
Yeah, they come in and look.
That's kind of that's what the country kind of looked like. It was kind of mountainous and jungle.
Did you know anything about Vietnam before you got there?
No,
That was actually my buddy's.
I learned the hard way.